Today we're going to make a gold bar so incredibly valuable that it's hopefully going to break the game. It's going to be far and away more valuable than a giant mountain of gold I had to delete because the game just couldn't take it anymore. So the first thing we're going to need is the basic supplies to get down to the good gold. And we can use a truck today, that way I can transport multiple things at one time. Not that I need a lot for doing this. This idea was actually suggested to me in the comments of the last video, and as soon as I read it I knew we were going to do it and going to have a lot of fun with it. And with that I think I have enough to get me started. Our first goal basically is to find one single large gold nugget. Or cloudium if we can find it, but gold is going to be much easier right now. I really miss my super pickaxe right now. But we'll get it back eventually. I've also realized too that as long as I have my magical hat here, I'm able to dig straight down if I want to, which is going to save me a little bit of time. Because we're just going to go straight to the bottom as quick as we can. It's not a perfect science, but we're going to get there anyway. I am not very good at digging in a straight line, but we've hit the bottom.
Help!
I don't actually know if this is going to save any time now because I'm kind of floating around bumping into everything, but whatever. Basically what I'm going to need is one bucket and one shovel down in the deep. And we can actually just let those go ahead of time if we time it properly. There it goes. This is probably also not going to work out super well, but we'll figure it out as we go. We take a bit of the deep dirt that has the good stuff, put it in the bucket. I don't know if that went in a bucket or not. Yeah, I think it did. Perfect. Whoops. That was actually a considerable problem because now I can't drop the shovel and therefore I can't put the hat on. So that's just a very good example of my stupid idea having stupid results. So we'll leave that there. We'll go down and get our thing. Hopefully this bucket of dirt has some good stuff in it, and I just realized I forgot a brush. So now I need to go all the way back to get it. You go in there. But at least when I want to go back to the store now, if I need only one thing, I can just fly there and it's much quicker. And it's all worth it in the pursuit of that gold. Okay, give this thing some water, place it on the ground, and then give it a rinse. And what do we got? That's kind of a rare find, but actually not what we wanted for once, so great. So let's go back down the annoying hole to get some dirt for the bucket. I'm going to try this slightly different way this time. I'm going to simply bring 2 scoops to the surface for it instead of trying to deal with it all down here, because that didn't seem to work very well. Though there's not really going to be a great way to do this. But I am just kind of happy I have these lazy options available to me these days. Let's see if I can get this first try for once. Nope. I can't even put dirt into a bucket. But that's the kind of brilliance you guys are here for. There we go. One single gold nugget, but it's rather girthy. So it by itself is worth $71, which isn't that much. But thanks to this little bit of magic, we can spawn another gold nugget that's going to be worth exactly $71 again. So I actually need to go back to the shop now, but this is where this is going to get fun. Not the driving part, because this is always a little bit wonky. Basically, I need a smelter. Or maybe it's actually just a cauldron I need. Because to be honest, at this moment, I forget the difference between them. So I'll just buy both just in case. I can't wait to get all the way back and then see what I forgot anyways. But that's also why I'm working on the closer ground, because it's less time to travel back and forth a billion times. But I am hoping that I can just use this, and it seems that I can. So if I drop these 2 gold nuggets in there that are worth $71 each, they're going to turn into a gold bar that's worth $168. But then look what I can do. I've turned 2 gold nuggets into something that's going to be worth much, much more, because if I drop these into here, well, they're going to start multiplying too, and they melt down very quickly. So just like that, in the few seconds it's taken to do this, we've now created a gold bar worth 504. And then guess what we're gonna do? Another 500, another 500, another 500, another 500. So I just need to find a nice efficient way to put these into here without the game lagging or me tipping them or turning them. I might still have to set up a conveyor just to handle this so they feed in there properly consistently, but we'll figure this out as we go. I've got nothing but time for this. But already in a few seconds it's taken, well, there's $3,000 and we get to multiply it as much as we want. I do think I want to try a conveyor setup on this though, because I'm not sure. Well, that'll work for now, but I think a conveyor setup is probably going to be better long term. And one that's maybe a little bit spaced out, because they only, if I spawn them too quickly, I don't think that's going to work. Like if I use an auto clicker, which isn't working right now, well, they're going to build up anyway. I could sit here and manually do this all day, which I very well might have to. But we'll figure out a good system for this, because we need like a bigger opening. I don't think you're really supposed to put a lot of gold bars in here, which is why they don't really fit that nicely. I think I found a secret though. You tip them in forwards. I always tip them in backwards for some reason, which is very stupid in hindsight. But already now, what are you worth? $54,000, and I mean every time I multiply that, that's another $50,000. I smelt that down, redo the whole process. I don't know what kind of value is going to break the game, but $54,000 is a lot all by itself. So let's go get just a few conveyor pieces. I This one must have been what lodged earlier. There's also logic gates too that can keep track of things, which I should have used last time I spawned a bunch of gold, but I kind of forgot they existed, but that would have been really fun to work with. But that's also a struggle for me because logic and me don't mix well. For example, I just went to the entirely wrong shop because there's no conveyors here. I think the only ones I'm going to need today are going to be a straight conveyor, a centralizer, and maybe an uppy ramp thing. I guess we got to also feed this with a pump and then plug it also. These stupid little ideas always just escalate and grow into something ridiculous. You think you need one part, but then you actually need 10. So I guess while we're at it, we should also put that gem into a thing. So we'll just start to organize slowly. I already forget what I needed. Okay, one of these, probably some more straight pipes, and let's pretend that's good enough. I do love how sharp the game feels though without all that gold lying on the ground. Like, what a difference. And this is the point where I realized that I did actually forget a funnel, but I don't know if that's going to be a huge deal today. And since we have one of these, we might as well make it into a bar, and we'll make it into a pretty big one at that. Because that's really only going to take a second anyways, because we have it all right here handy to us, and that's going to fuel my conveyor belt forever. Or at least if it doesn't, we can just make another one that easy. In fact, there's some spares. They can just hang out over here for now. Now, the hardest part of any one of these videos is getting something to sit properly where it's supposed to. I know there's a better way of doing that and I'll learn it one day, but for now I'm going to be stupid and pretend it's easier not to. Now it's once again time to figure out exactly how a conveyor system is going to work here efficiently, because something like this obviously isn't high enough to drop into a crucible. So we're going to have to spawn a few more pieces. Again, I don't want a bunch of clutter sitting around because that slows the game down and just annoys me, so I'm trying to be a little bit efficient. But I think if we put 2 centralizers here, that should be enough, and it should be able to drop into this guy. That might work. I don't know how the bars are going to drop off there from that height, but we're going to test that and see. I also forgot that I can use this to right click things and delete them from existence, so if I get too much clutter I can remove it. But it's time to see if this is going to work. So we're going to start multiplying a $50,000 gold bar, and we're going to drop a few on the conveyor kind of to see what happens. So if we spawn them something like that, so they're going business and forward, they get centralized, they drop in slowly. It does work, but they're not super quick. But if I can do that consistently, I think that's actually going to work. It's not going to be super quick, and I think I need a funnel, which may or may not work against me. So I think the funnel is either going to be perfect or it's going to be a disaster. So I put it like that. Well, we'll see what happens. They will guide the gold bar in very nicely, but if they get stuck on the lip or something, that's also a problem. Yeah, that's not going to work like that at all. Luckily, I'm a problem solver. So what I'm going to do is probably just turn this into a gold bar real quick. And well, let's see what this one's worth real quick just for fun. I'm going to start to lose track of these. So that's $108,000. I think I just need to make the stack 1 higher, and that's actually maybe going to be perfect for once. I'm really hoping I can get away with it like this, so as the gold bar falls, hopefully it tips just a little bit. I'm not entirely convinced that it's going to, but there's only one way to find out, and we're going to have to figure out a way to make this work one way or another. Did that go in? Oh, okay, kind of went in, but it also kind of didn't for some reason. Not sure what that's about, so hopefully that was just a one-off. So let's try and put another gold bar in there. I might have to find another way to bump the gold bar to get it to turn. I might have to put a bit of dirt up there or something weird. But it's going to be trial and error until... Where did it go? Did it already go in there? Oh, I think I know where it went. It just went nowhere on the conveyor because it didn't want to move that time. I thought it seemed a little fast. Okay, so it's going in there, but the funnel is stopping it from melting. So we might have to drop everything down another level anyway, just so the funnel is going to be separate from this anyway. But that would be fine. That would still be a very easy solution, all things considered. Did that stop again? This is also going to be a problem. For some reason, the gold doesn't love the conveyor belt. But they probably didn't really expect people to be using conveyors and gold bars together. It's a bit of a strange idea. That's probably going to jam because it did the first time. So let's weigh that out real quick. That should be $200,000, $217,000. So no matter what, we're getting very rich because that's a lot of money. So what is, I don't know, there's $1 million in gold. But what if we try it? Okay, it really doesn't like that conveyor. Doesn't like these at all. We might have to start it right there. And that's fine if I can sit there properly. And that misses by a lot. Okay, so what if we put something of a barrier right there? That way it'll hit that and bounce in. Yeah, there's probably a better way to do this. I'm just trying to be really lazy and use what's on hand right now. Wow, seriously, of all the ways you could fall. Maybe if I put it this way to start. Is that a bad idea? That might work, actually. What's going to happen? Nope. I really just want a foolproof system. So let's go 1 higher. Basically, I'm hoping the gold falls in here, that funnels it enough to drop in, and then it actually smelts like it's supposed to in that one. This might be it. I don't know if that's going to be super consistent, but I would be okay if they just bounced out and around the edge, but they're going to probably clog that up at some point. Yeah, if I could find somewhere to sit super consistently, like if I knew right here worked and I could get back to this exact position. What was that? Well, that's as good as it's maybe going to get for now. Then I'm going to try dropping a gold bar, I don't know, here? Because I'm kind of hoping to just be able to go like that. Is that going to work? That actually might work okay. So, I don't know, let's try like that. We're not going to be able to do this overly quick because they are going to jam up. But so far, so good. There's even one jammed up there. Okay, so far not so good. I mean, if I really have to, I can just do this way and that wouldn't be the end of the world. I just really wanted a nice automated system, but the physics of rectangles, just like in real life, are unknown to everyone. But I mean, even that little bit, now what's this worth? 283,000, and we can also multiply it rather quickly. So yeah, I think this is ultimately going to be the best way. The conveyor was a nice idea, but if we could find just the right spot to sit, kind of like this, we can just sit here for a couple minutes and let the gold take a bath. After a few minutes, we are going to reform it, and well, you get the idea. I just hit my auto clicker on right click. I don't know why my left click one isn't working anymore, but the right click one certainly works, so we just destroyed our gold bar. We lost some value, but that's okay, because we're already up to minus 107,000, so we're clearly doing something right. Okay, good news though. I fixed my auto clicker, so yeah. I'm kind of surprised how fast we hit the negatives with the gold bar though. I thought we'd at least get into tens or hundreds of millions before it hit negatives. So I don't really know how it's calculating value at this point, because I assume that last one should have been worth millions, but we just spawned like 10 of those and put them together, so okay, maybe that's just simply the max value we get. What are these ones worth? Nothing if we don't put them on a scale. Okay, these are actually worthless. I don't love how these don't get a proper value. Maybe if I take that to the shop, it's going to give me the full readout, because I feel like that's negative a bigger number than we're seeing. So if we bring this over here, you only take those items. So if we take this over here, yeah, that's a pretty big number already. Minus 10,737,418. So let's go smelt a few more of those together and see if we can get that number to change. Otherwise, it's worth negative $10 million. So I'm going to owe them a lot of money. Okay, I think I found the perfect spot to sit. Unfortunately, I still can't use my auto clicker because, well, that almost worked. Oh, that actually does kind of work if I can get 3 in a row. I could slow the auto clicker down, but we'll just do this for a minute anyway, because I don't know if the value of these is going to change anymore. It might just have a hard cap. Okay, we just put, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 of those into the gold soup. So as soon as that one wants to go in there, we will hopefully see a different number here. So that one is worth 10,737,000 and change. This one is worth 10,737,000 and change, so the value doesn't actually change. I mean, that's probably just something based in the coding, like it always is. I don't understand any of that, so we haven't tried cutting these in half yet, or combining them with other things, which might have an interesting result, because maybe if we cut them in half, they're going to have a positive value again. Okay, time for a math test. So if one of these is worth negative 10,700,000, half of one is worth 10,700,000. Okay, so it's still like adding the value, it's just not displaying the value. So this is really annoying, but I need gems now. I guess I'm just gonna try and get lucky, and mine went up from the bottom. I don't know what the odds of finding gems are, but I know it's not super high. But all I need is one, and then I can combine it also into some kind of super gem. And to be fair, my very first scoop of dirt, I did find one of the blue power gems, so luck is clearly on my side. A little bit of water, and let's hope for a black onyx gem. Would that be too much to ask? They're only extraordinarily rare. And I accidentally dropped the bucket down the hole, so things are going just really great. I really could just set up an operation like I always do, but I just really don't want to do that, because that's actually quite a bit of work. I'm mostly just banking on the fact that the gems hopefully won't take more than about 10 times doing this. Really wish I had some water down here. I'd be able to make this work much quicker. I could run pipes over to drip down, which might not actually be the worst idea in the world. But again, I'm still banking on this being slightly faster. And now that I gave myself a bit of room, I can actually leave the shovel down here. It's not as bad. I just realized that while I was doing this, I did actually find a piece of cloudium, which is considerably harder to find than a single gem, and it's considerably more valuable than gold. I've also seemingly managed, never mind, to lose my brush. Give me a gem. Oh, we got lots of stuff, but none of it's what I wanted. Wait, I think we just spat out our first gem. Now I need a grinder. So we can use that to turn our gem into something pretty, and we finally have something we can work with. An emerald won't be my first choice, but it's worth $106, and that's just going to be the way it is. but we're able to multiply them as we want. So if we take one of these ridiculous gold bars and combine it with a gem, what is that going to give us in value? Kind of hoping it does something stupid or puts the value back in the positive again. But we'll see what this is worth. There's negative $10 million in gold plus a $100 emerald. Still just the max value. Oh, what actually happens if we sell that? I never really considered that. I don't know what negative 10 million gold looks like, if it can even generate that. That might just crash the game, but I'm kind of excited for that. Okay, so this ring right now is worth, yep. Okay, it just doesn't take it. Take my money. I guess it just can't really figure out what to do with that because it's negative money anyway and it's a really big number. It might actually be bigger than that still because it's still off the board. I don't know if we have any way of knowing. Okay, so we're going to leave that somewhere where I'll find it later for sure. But let's do the same thing with compressed gems. I want a very valuable gem. So we'll go ahead and dismantle this for a minute because I feel like we're not going to need it again. And we've already made a pretty good mess of everything, but we've got what we need to start compressing. And I'm really hoping I can get away with this. Oh, I can. Perfect. So we're going to auto-click that for a sec. Doesn't spawn them in super quick, but it's going to be a lot of value regardless. So let's go ahead and turn those into a super gem. We'll check the value of this real quick. $2,800 already. Not sure how many of these we're going to be able to fit in. Oh, they stack anyway. Perfect. Oh, we can just endlessly do this if we want. What did we say it was? About $3,000 per one. So we're well over $50,000 by now. So now this single gem is worth $100,000. So I think it breaks at about $1 million. So we're going to multiply this 5 times for now, which looks something like that. So yep, that's perfect. $500,000. I don't know at what point the game is going to break. Whoops. Okay, that's not. Nope. It's okay with $1 million. I'm assuming that the 10 million point is about where it's going to break because that's what it's showing on the other one. So let's throw 10 of those in, not you. Therefore, okay, that's really just what I wanted. Yeah, I also don't know why I just dropped that, but cool. Okay, stop. I want you. So that's going to be worth about 20 million. That should be the breaking point. Unless it lets me go higher with gems. Nope, that's definitely the breaking point. So this one is about as valuable as you can get, but I've got an idea. And that's kind of what happens if we do this, say, twice on here. That's $18,202,000, which, okay, looks like that. Fair enough. The game handled that just fine. And it shows a big number there. So at what point is it going to say enough is enough? Well, it did. I don't even know where those are going. There's not a lot of room to work here. Okay, whatever. We'll take that for now. 100 and... I don't know what that is. 11,000 million? I can't remember. Okay, they don't want to combine anymore because the numbers are just too big. So the stacks of money breakdown. 18,202,000. Seems like a lot of money. But I guess also each one of these is worth $10 million all by itself. So that's going to add up fairly quick. Well, since each and every one of these is worth $9 million, we might still be able to use it to break the game. The value of things didn't happen to break the game because there's that unfortunate cap at $10 million. But say it just hit here for a while and spawn a whole bunch of the green gems. You can see them bounce forward, so whatever, they'll pile up somewhere down there eventually. The point is, at $9 million per gem spawned, we're spawning 10 of these every couple seconds, so we're making hundreds of millions, soon to be billions of dollars in green emeralds. So to put this into perspective a little bit, every minute we're spawning $1.7 billion worth of emeralds. So if I actually did this for 10 hours, there'd be $1 trillion worth of emeralds on the ground, and I might just do it. It's already been about 10 minutes of spawning emeralds. That should be tens of billions of dollars worth of them, which is kind of funny because it doesn't really look like tens of billions of dollars worth of emeralds, but that's because each one's so incredibly valuable. So I think we can keep going with this one a little longer. Well, it's been about 10 hours and my auto clicker has once again failed me. I'm not entirely sure what happened because it's also nighttime. The game is supposed to remain paused in time forever. So I guess in a way we kind of did break the game, but it seems to be frozen again back in the middle of day. But then I'm kind of once again disappointed at the results of this. I mean, there was a lot of them there because they're so spread out, but I was hoping for a much bigger pile because I don't know how long my auto clicker ran for before it crapped out. But I guess I did succeed in making myself pretty rich considering each one of these is worth $9 million, so we're sitting on many billions of dollars worth of emeralds. So let's go ahead and see about loading a few of these up. Pretty sure I can get away with just kind of going like this for a minute, and some of them will land in the truck, some of them will not. I tried to leave it tilted slightly forward so they would roll in, and I think that should be enough. Now, I think it's safe to assume we did not even make a dent in how many we took away from our pile. So we'll try and get an idea of the value. I just need to try and find a way to get some, if not all of these onto the table all at once, and that's going to be a struggle. Out of everything I've done so far, this is the most annoying thing because they're so strangely shaped that they just bounce off each other and pretty much go wherever they want. But so far it looks like we're going to make some profit. Okay, I think this is just going to have to be as good as it gets because it is really hard to fit anymore on that table. We can find the value of what this is worth. At least we went back into the minuses again. And everything disappeared. Well, I guess there's always next time.